Hello, welcome, Gordon. I just wanted to introduce you because you have been my godsend in times of
Mhm.
very dark times with my gut health issues. And you have been incredibly supportive, not only to me, but to a huge number of people. And I just wanted you to be able to explain what kind of work you do and how you can help people and which areas that you're working in.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda. Um, yeah, I mean, how I really work intuitively, I will tune really into somebody's field. So whenever we're working together, um, just even in your conversation, there's a vibration through that language. So even if you start to talk a little bit about something in your world, something in your journey, in that vibration, there's a wave and there's an energy, and that I can tune into and get a sense of where we might go with it. So it's really looking at how your inner relationship is with yourself. And there's a whole world within inside all of us. Wherever we are on our journey, whatever age we are, we have that internal memory, feelings, which are within us. So I can very much tune into that feeling and I can feel that in the body. So once somebody starts to communicate with me and I ask them just maybe specific questions about how their journey has been, maybe let's go through their timeline, see any specific points where they've had any traumatic moments, maybe a breakup in between mother and father, because everything is within inside of them from their very moment of conception. The whole journey lives inside with us. It's in our energy field. So it's really looking at the relationship between the different bodies, because we have thoughts, and that is known as a mental body in energy terms. And we have feelings, and we know we can't grab feelings, but we know it's energy. We feel it, and that's the emotional body. Then we know we have the physical body because we can touch it, but that is also an energy body. And then there's the essence of who we are, the spirit of us, the essence of who we are. So it's harmonizing more where there's been disharmony with those bodies. So the energetical bodies have a split in them, a separation in them. It's where it causes potentially disease. And it's looking at that dis-ease in the body, in the energy bodies, to start meeting the emotional attachment or the mental attachment, because all the words we put upon that unconsciously are like doorways. So when we go in to explore, we look at where the energy, where the thought is blocking the feelings because it was painful. We didn't want to meet it at that moment in time. We had no idea how to process it as children or even as adults until we start to wake up and become conscious that there's something more going on, and it's an inner journey rather than something external will fix it. So
I just wondered, Gordon, how did you come to this understanding yourself? What happened for you to get to this awareness?
some 15 years ago, I had some moments where I would wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning and I could actually see vibrational waves, like frequency waves going through my heart. And it was really, yeah, it was a beautiful experience. And I wanted to know more. And that's really opened the doorway. Something was changing inside of me. How? It just happened.
Did you think it's like a calling in a way, in some way?
Yeah, definitely. Because once it started to happen, then it opened up a different consciousness within me. And I started to see things differently and understand. I mean, prior to that, I didn't really have any idea of what energy was, or reading energy, or being an intuitive or a healer, or whatever word we put there. But that opened that doorway. And then I went out exploring, and I wanted to find people that could teach me, guide me. They other people that have had similar experiences, And that was my journey, and that then brought me back into myself, and I started to realize there's a whole world inside of me that I can explore. And then I started doing a lot of work on myself, going to lots of different groups to really understand how to work with energy. And that's really how it started. Yeah.
So I wondered, because sometimes it can all be seem like a bit of a out there concept. So I wondered if you could do a little bit of work with me today, just so that we can fully experience that. And sometimes it's better just to see and witness it and be a witness to what the work is. So I'm happy for you to do some work with me.
Yep, love to. Okay, so maybe we just, I typically would start with anybody that was new. We're just really going to connect into our body, because it's something we don't do. So if you'd like to just be comfortable, spine is nice and upright. Maybe your hands are just resting on your lap, and just take a conscious breath into the body. And just notice how the breath comes into the body and out of the body. And see if the breath can go further down into the body, down to the diaphragm, down to the belly, and all the way down to the base of the spine. I'm just going to ask you, Amanda, to just give some awareness, if you put some awareness around your gut area. And what do you notice? What do you notice, or what do you feel?
Interestingly, as you asked me to go to my gut, I feel a tightness in my throat. And when I first started breathing, I felt more of a block in my chest, and I couldn't seem to get below that. Is there a cutoff or separation? A lack of wanting to be aware of what's going down below?
Yeah. Could you ask internally, just ask that question, what needs to be spoken?
The word fear just comes up. And there's a fear of, if there's too much exploration down here, all the pain will arise and up again, all of the lack of living life, the flow will stop. If I explore here, my life will stop.
Is that true?
No, but it brings I'm feeling very emotional with that. I'm feeling very tearful with that.
Just to note, in the language that you used that was protecting that pain, when you acknowledged it, the emotion can open, it can come up. So the idea, so this is where the mind's made an idea, don't go there, this is painful, so it's protected. So that's the doorway that I'm talking about with thought. And the moment you recognize it, you speak its truth, you have the choice because you've brought awareness to that. So in this moment for you, Amanda, it was okay to say, yes, I recognize that. Then you've come to change it from a resistance energy into an acceptance, which allows the door to open. Because when it was painful, we lock a door because we don't know how to process it. Yeah. So what's happening for you right now in this moment?
There's a block in my throat. And I want to scream out.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's the energy rising in a way that the emotion is coming to here, which takes me back to childhood. I suffered with a sore throat a lot as a child.
Mm-hmm. What were you seeing as a child that you couldn't express? What did you witness?
I think there was a confusion in the layers. Sorry, that's not going to make any sense to anyone other than me in my head. But I was very fortunate in my upbringing that I had very honest and open parents. And that wasn't always the way in society to be. I would express things and be told to keep quiet because I wouldn't do it in the right way. I wouldn't speak. I would be too open.
Yeah. And was that from your outside of your family? Was that from your mother or father? Did you witness something that you were seeing of communication at times? Did it feel challenging to your body?
It felt like it was more the societal norm to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Not.
Okay. Yeah. So just breathe into your a little bit further down right now, because there's quite a charge of energy on that. What do you notice, Amanda?
It's making me very emotional because I feel like that has been through a theme throughout my life, that
Mm-hmm.
I have been outspoken and I have said things that may have been painful to other people, but with an lack of awareness myself that I was hurting other people. And in that, I felt I had to suppress what I was saying. Because I think I've only really come to understand that I have an understanding of people. And I only really have come to understand that in the last few years, that my understanding of people is on a deeper level than perhaps others have been able to see. And so my communication of that has not been gentle enough.
Yeah, and I think it's not been gentle enough in the story of that, in the sense of society and the way society is should be different to what it is, because there is a charge of energy. It's quite strong around the mouth as well, here in the jaw. There's an anger that you couldn't speak out your truth, or it wasn't received or accepted. That's the one. Just feel that in your body.
I can
It's
feel
kind
it.
of,
I feel like my jaw is all tightened up.
yeah. So that there is this this is really going to help you as you unlock more of this, Amanda, to bring your flow in. This is one of the blocks that you have, because it's like you've grabbed a story and there's a heavy judgment and a charge on that story about how it is. And it's like you're fighting to get out and say, this is how it should be.
Yeah.
Should be different to this.
Yeah.
You know, you can feel it all here. This is your voice. If you can meet more of that story and bring acceptance to it, it's a judgment that's not letting you flow in and bring forward your own energy. So acceptance is the key. Okay. Yes, this is the world that we live in. This is the world that I'm meeting. Yes, it can change, and I can contribute to that change, which you're doing in your life. But you can contribute even more the more you accept what is, and don't challenge that, because it's still, when that vibration comes up, there's a charge behind it. It's not going to get received in the same way, because you can see certain things and you'll say it, and people are like, whoa, hold on, I'm not ready for that. I can't take that all on board. When that changes, that'll give more of your just natural flow. You'll just be able to guide them, steer them, and it will bring a lot more people into your, and this is really clear in this energy now. It's coming through more. You're showing up more. You know, you want to create more flow. You want to bring more in. You're a natural healer. This part needs just to be met. It needs just what we're doing right in this moment. This is meeting it.
Thank you, Gordon. I'm going to stop the recording now, but
You're welcome.
thank you for that session.